What's up, guys, and welcome in. Just finished running all 6 of the Grandmaster Nightfalls this season on my Warlock, and this is the build I did it on. A Phoenix Protocol, Dawnblade. I did all 6 of these GMs with different LFG groups of different skill levels. First of all, the Phoenix Protocol. Kills and assists you make while standing in your Well of Radiance returns super energy. This just helps you get more and more wells faster, helps you support your team with heals, helps you be able to be the only well lock on your team and be totally fine even if you don't have a hunter giving you orbs or anything else. You can still supply enough Well of Radiance for your team to survive and do all the tactics that you need to do, as long as you're getting kills while in your Well of Radiance. So that's very important. For the subclass, of course, we use Well of Radiance. This is a huge heal, a big area of effect heal that also spouts up a bunch of orbs for your teammates, so it gives them armor charges, which increases their damage or whatever they're using the armor charges for, and it also is just a damage increase. And you can play around with this and just have wells ready for certain hard areas. One tip, there are still things that can kill you through the well. It's not as impenetrable and as crazy as it used to be, where you just pop a well and could take anything in a Grandmaster. That's not the case anymore. You still have to play safe even inside the well. Then as far as abilities, for Grandmasters, I like Healing Rift, just another heal to keep you alive. I like Balanced Glide the best out of the 3 jumps. Sometimes I'll switch over to Strafe Glide in order to just get more directional control if I need to do some jumping puzzles. But for Grandmasters, Balanced Glide is fine. For the melee, I like Celestial Fire because you can do it at range. With the strats that I'm using, Incinerator Snap isn't very useful because you have to be too close to use it. Celestial's Fire because you can use it at any time. Then Healing Grenade, huge heal for your team. So you basically go back and forth from either giving a Well of Radiance or a Healing Rift or a Healing Grenade. So you're able to heal your team no matter what. For the aspects, I use Touch of Flame, which improves your Healing Grenade. It improves the strength of a cure and the restoration effects. And if you have this and Heat Rises, it also applies restoration to nearby allies when you use Heat Rises. And what Heat Rises does, you consume a grenade and it releases a burst of healing that cures nearby enemies. And then now, while you're airborne, you increase the duration of Heat Rises and grant melee energy. Honestly, you could go either way. I do sometimes like in certain GMs to use Heat Rises in order to do like skips or to get to little cheese spots or different things like that. Then Heat Rises is useful. But if you want to use Icarus Dash, that's totally fine. It's not a huge change to the build if you go with Heat Rises versus Icarus Dash. For the fragments, I'm using Ember of Wonder. When you defeat multiple targets with solar ignitions, you get Orbs of Power and 10 Resilience to just get that super back faster. Ember of Ashes, you apply more Scorch stacks to target. Ember of Empyrean, Solar Weapon, or Ability Final Blows extend the duration of Restoration and Radiant. Ember of Combustion, Final Blows with Solar Super, causes targets to ignite and creates a Fire Sprite. For the mods, I have 2 Harmonic Siphons and a Heavy Ammo Finder. I have Focusing Strike to get class ability when you use a melee. Impact Induction, when you use a powered melee, it reduces your grenade cooldown. So when you use your melee, you get class ability and you get grenade energy. And then Harmonic Loader, just reload your solar weapons faster. And then on the chest piece, just any resistances that you need. For the Heist Battleground Moon that I just got out of, there's crazy Void snipers, so I just did 2 Void and 1 sniper resistance. But really change this up to whatever you need. If it's an arc threat, use 2 arc resistance and 1 Void or 1 solar, whatever. Whatever they're hitting you with, that's the resistance you want to use. For the legs, Recuperation replenishes health each time you pick up an Orb of Power. Orbs of Restoration, picking up an Orb of Power grants a small amount of energy to your ability with least energy. And Solar Weapon Surge to boost up your damage. For the Bond, I got Powerful Attraction, automatically collect nearby orbs when you activate your class ability. Time Dilation just increases your armor charge duration, and Bomber reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. For the artifact, the champion things don't really matter in this first column. The only champion thing that really matters is this Overload rocket launcher one. But then the big one is Flint Striker to get Radiant basically at all times, just by doing precision weapon damage with a solar weapon. And then that stacks on top of Radiant, causing solar weapons to apply more Scorch on Scorched combatants. Heart of Flame, casting your solar super grants nearby allies Radiant and increases the damage of your super for each nearby ally. Revitalizing Blast causing damage with solar ability, weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. Raise of precision, while radiant solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. More ignitions. Wished into being, while your super is nearly fully charged, ability final blows spawn orbs of power. Wearing Season of the Wish armor decreases super amount threshold. This is really good, creates a lot of orbs. I highly recommend it. Then for the weapons, this is the basic setup I used for all of the GMs, no matter what the champions were, with just tiny changes. One of the GMs had overcharged sniper rifles, so I used a Supremacy, or you can use any sniper rifle. One thing that could help would be a disorienting grenade, but I didn't seem to need it. The big moneymaker for this whole thing is Polaris Lance. This thing is just juiced this season. It's crazy. So this thing can take care of barrier champions and unstoppable champions because precision hits return ammo to the mag. Landing 4 precision hits loads a delayed solar explosive round that scorches targets for your next shot. So you're able to ignite unstoppable champions with this, stunning unstoppable. And because you're radiant from Flint Striker, then you're able to take care of barrier champions and shoot through their shields because solar radiant effects pierce barrier champions. So with just one weapon, you're taking care of barrier and unstoppable. So then the only thing I changed, because there was overload champions in some of the GMs, I just would switch to Apex Predator, and now because of overload rocket launchers, I can take care of all 3 champions just with these 2 weapons. But honestly, I only switch to the rocket when it's overload champions because fixed odds or just any solar heavy machine gun is so good at clearing adds, and you want to get as many kills while your well's up. So basically when I pop a well, I switch over to my machine gun, get a bunch of kills, get my well back, and then in between wells I'm using healing rifts and healing grenades and using Polaris Lance, and then switching back, popping a well, switching back to fixed odds, getting my Well of Radiance back. As far as stats for the build, 100 resilience always for this Heart of Content, and then focusing discipline to make sure you got those healing grenades back, and recovery is the last one. I don't have the greatest stats on my Warlock, but I do have the double 100, which is the really important part. But if you wanted to go more into recovery, you could. It's just the healing rift that you get from the recovery isn't as strong as the healing grenade that you get from the discipline. Real fast, I'll look at the armor. I got the Phoenix Fall ornament for the Phoenix Protocol, which I really like the look of that. And then I just found things that I thought went really cool with it. I like these little glowy gloves from the Painted Kitsune gloves, Dragonfly Regalia Mandible helmet. I felt like went well with the Phoenix Fall. And then I got the shiny glowy bond, all of it in Erebos Glance. I like this shade of black. I think it's pretty cool looking. It's like gray black. That's it. That's the build. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel to get more updates and more GM builds coming soon. I got some Titan builds I'm working on. Thanks for watching. Peace.